Guys, my friends, about the situation of what's happening or where I'm from. My country is called Mauritania. I'm from Mauritania. It's a country who still practice slavery until today. The other day there was an election, and then the guy who was running for against the Arabo Berber is called. He was a former slave, but he got a chance to get an education. You know, more than 70% of the population don't have no access to education, no water, no food, no hospitals, no nothing, because they are slaves or former slaves. And then the mentality is, when you are a slave, you cannot be a president. And when you are a slave, you cannot be a chief, you cannot lead. So that's what they still practice in there. And then as of today, I'm talking to you guys, they still selling people, using people as slaves, and doing all those practice in Mauritania. And I'm pleading of all the people who have conscience in their mind to help me, help us, help those slaves. Imagine, help those slaves to have access to freedom, to have access to education, you know, because this is ridiculous. It's a very, very ridiculous, actually, as of today. I'm talking to you guys. But in the meantime, the Negroes will represent 80% of the population in Mauritania. But if you look at it, Mauritania TV, you think there is no Negroes in Mauritania at all. And then those Arab Berbers, they are only 20%. You know, I'm not saying they're all racist, they're all bad, they all still practice slavery. There is some certain
GPS signal lost.
who are still fighting to try to get the abolition of slavery to be abolished definitely in my country. But unfortunately, the guy who is on the power, the president of the country, is still believing that in slavery. The chief of the army, they still practice that. If you look at the army, if you go into Mauritania and you look at the army, all the soldiers are Negroes. And all the chiefs are Arab Berbers. You go to Mauritania, when you are a black person, when you have a dark skin, you are considered as a slave. You cannot own a fishing license for, you know, deep sea fishing license. You cannot open a bank. You are not allowed to own a bank because you are a slave. You cannot, there's a lot of things you cannot get because just the color of your skin, you know. And but you know, some of them are still fighting today to get us to. But we're urging people to help us, you know. Oh man.